your Two Dads show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know.
That's right.
Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Tomorrow, yeah.
This it was just about the best week ever. We got a bunch of news to talk about. Last night was the State of the Union. I watched it. I don't care what he said. He was angry and terrible. So we probably won't talk about that very much. But we had some big announcements this week and in the last 24 hours or so. A lot to talk about today. Dave, I'm cold. I'm cold in my house. Dave's not feeling good. He's got the sniffles.
Yeah, that mess is going around.
Yeah.
So, and this is what's wonderful about being a dad and being a parent is that when your child goes to school, and if you send your child to school sick and you're like, she's not staying home, she's feeling better, she's going to school and she's still contagious, that child will contaminate a couple of other children and then they'll go home and then I get it.
And it's the plague.
And I'm usually the last one in the house to get sick. If I see my daughter's usually the first one. If she's got the sniffles, I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to be sick in a week. It's going to be a week and a half, and then I'm going to have what she has. And that's usually how it goes. It'll go Kendra, Ashley. Alex has got a pretty good immune system. He rarely gets sick, but then I'm usually the last one after Maggie and Deacon and all them. So happy.
I'm hearing some sort of noise in the back. It's not you, right? Is your radio bleeding through, or do I hear something? Oh, I think it's over here. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. It was one of our things we're going to talk about, but the volume was over. Sorry about that. So Dave's not feeling good, and also my kid is not feeling good. So this morning we have a live studio audience member who's paying no attention to me, but is paying attention to Dino Ranch. Are you watching Dino Ranch?
Nice.
She says, Dad.
I know who that is. That's Jill.
Yeah.
I know their personalities.
Oh my God, my headphones are both of my headphones are battery low. This is great. I'll figure it out in a minute. Okay. Okay. So Ricochet says good morning, y'all. And I don't know if Brian's around, but if Brian wants to come hang out with us on the show, he's welcome. I'll holler if you're out there, Brian. You can jump on the show. We got plenty to discuss today. We got some stories that we have left over from earlier in the week, including some. Did we cover the AI stuff? We got some. Unfortunately, some TRANS stuff. I got my kid here. We got. Let's see. We covered the. Gutierrez Reed thing yesterday. So we got some stuff to talk about.
Since you were talking about Brian, he posted in our chat. Let me bring it up. He was playing.
Let me get the link if he wants to join us.
He was playing the State of the Union bingo last night. And
you know what? Brian would be great to have him come comment about the State of the Union.
He almost won. If we could have got Biden, just didn't talk about climate change, man, or we'd have had.
Do you have stuttering on there? Do you have over 100 stutters on there?
Well, what we got was corporate greed, my wife Jill, the January 6th insurrection, Ukraine, and then we skip over and forgets what he talks about, and then you get the free space, and then record economic growth, gibberish, democracy is on the ballot. Mumbles, and then Putin or Russia. You get that one for either or.
Right.
But yeah, we didn't get any come on man or paying their fair share.
You missed coughing there. You got coughing a bunch of times, buddy.
I guess
there was a bunch of coughing. So
I actually have some audio I wanted to share. It's real quick. It's a piece of audio from the State of the Union last night. If you probably
absolutely
paying attention, but this is the president.
I like gummy bears. Fozzie is my favorite Muppet. Ha ha. Bork, bork, bork. I think race cars are cool. Vroom, vroom. Ha ha.
So, I mean, that's just little clips and excerpts from some important parts of the speech last night.
We actually have some video of the State of the Union. Here, this is what was posted on.
We're going to buy America.
Yes.
We're going to buy America. Folks,
International trade rules. Buy America has been the law since 1933. Also caps and won't even go into effect until 2025.
Oh my
And by the way, that law was written
AI doesn't rule.
and the benefit expires in 2025. New electric
This is actually
grids. They're able to
Donald
weather
Trump
major
on
storms
social.
and not
Trump social.
prevent those forest fires.
I think he was live tweeting the thing. He was like, "This is garbage."
That makes it so much more watchable.
I mean, yeah. Like you're gonna hear politicians like, "This happened. That's not true. This happened," and then Donald Trump just draws a cartoon Pinocchio nose on his face.
See, that's why we love Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is the guy that will walk up and draw a penis on your face with a Sharpie and laugh and just, that's what we want.
Oh,
we
yeah.
want somebody to draw.
There was a clip of him the other day. I didn't see it, but I heard it described to me that he was talking about. I think he was talking about. I'm gonna ruin it. Let me see if I can find it. In the meantime, is there anything that we wanted to say about the state? Did you watch it at all? Did you listen to it?
Listening to some liar lie to my face and try to make it sound good while all these other people kiss his ass. And I've got better things to do with my time.
Okay.
And he's a pedophile, in my opinion. So I don't give those people one freaking iota of my time. I try not to even think about them, but we have to because of the position that he was appointed to. Or he was given.
All right.
No,
well, I did listen to the State of the Union speech. And everybody, look, everybody's gonna line up on their team's sidelines here, right? So all the Democrats are gonna like wave and cheer and be like, "That's the greatest thing I've ever heard," and all the Republicans are gonna be like, "That dude's crazy and angry."
I actually saw the beginning this morning only because when I generated that was AI for you people out there maybe didn't know.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the background noise. I was trying to see if there was a long enough like background noise of just mumbling and stuff, and I was going to put that behind it to make it sound better. I even tried to put a little echo from the microphone on there, and I was just putting too much time into that. I was like, this is 5 seconds I'm wasting 10 minutes on. Screw this. This is a little joke that I'm trying to pull. But I watched the beginning of the State of the Union this morning to try to get that sound effect, and I saw him come in. And they're all
late. He was super late.
4 more years or whatever they were chanting there. 4 more, whatever they were.
4 more years of this. 4 more years of this, and you people are not going to be living in your homes. Illegal immigrants are going to own all your houses. You're going to get pushed out of your neighborhoods.
Either that, or it's going to be a bunch of pissed off Americans that you have pushed too far.
Yeah.
There is only so many times you can poke the dog with the stick before the dog takes off its chain and beats you with the chain.
Yeah.
The dog doesn't want to growl at you, but if you keep poking the dog with the stick, it's going to sit there and it's going to take it and it's going to take it and it's going to take it. But one of these days, it's not going to take it. It's going to bite your ass. That's a fact of life.
So my impression of the State of the Union speech was Joe Biden was doped up on something so that he could be vigorous looking. He was coughing a lot. Yeah, he was angry and yelling. He was yelling a lot. He was mocking the Republicans from the pulpit, and he was using this as a campaign speech. That's what he was doing. He was making a big televised campaign speech.
Yeah, of course it was. That's all the State of the Union is. Jeez,
Right.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
They're not about helping Americans. They're about lying to your face. Let me tell you, I didn't even watch the speech, but I bet you he brought up school loans, abortion.
He definitely talked about
immigration.
He definitely talked about loans. He talked about loans a lot, federal loans of all kinds. He talked about getting federal loans so that you can finally afford a home. We need to be in debt to the federal. Of course, that's a great idea.
Did he blame the border did he blame Congress for not doing something about the
Oh,
border?
he definitely blamed the Republicans for for blocking the border bill, the border of Ukraine bill, because 80% of that money went to Ukraine and Israel. He talked about, do you know that? I don't know if we talked about this yesterday, because this news came out yesterday. But he talked about it in the State of the Union speech. Do you know that the United States of America, Deacon, is going to invest a bunch of money to put a port on the beach of Gaza so that we can deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza, which will definitely not immediately be taken by Hamas and supporting terrorists. So for some reason, we are going to a foreign country and we're going to install a port. And as those supplies are being delivered to that port, do you think that port would be used to export migrants back to the United States?
No, that would be wrong.
Okay. That would not be right. So he talked about that. He talked about, we're going to put a port in there to humanitarian aid. I'm like, I thought we were allies with Israel, which is the one that's causing the humanitarian problem. Why are we involved? Why are we doing? And I'll tell you why. It's because he's being attacked from his left flank. His the extreme Democrats that are basically pro-Gaza, pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas are attacking him from the left flank for not supporting Israel. And then he has all of the vested interests in DC that are pro-Israel attacking him from the right flank. So he's getting it from both sides. So he's trying to support both sides. He's trying to support Israel and Gaza. What is that?
Ladybug.
Is that a ladybug?
It's
Ladybug.
A ladybug. I'm gonna go let it out. Hang on.
Yeah, all right. Oh boy. Yeah, we had like a schizophrenic show today, and I'm looking for one of the stories that I had. Let's see. So Donald Trump was I guess we are going to talk about the State of the Union a little bit. Donald Trump calls Joe Biden's State of the Union address polarizing and hate-filled. And oh my God, restream with this auto thumb. What do you do with spotlight mode? That sucks. Trump said this was an angry, polarizing, hate-filled speech. He barely mentioned immigration or the worst border in the history of the world. He will never fix immigration, nor does he want to. He wants our country to be flooded with migrants. Crime level will rise to levels
it's already
never seen.
Listen.
Yeah. Never seen before. And that's true that it's risen. And it's not only true that it's crime, but we have, look, not all migrants are criminals. Well, yeah, no, not all migrants are criminals. All illegal migrants are criminals technically, but the reality is that there are some criminal, like violent criminals that are crossing this border, and they are doing harm to people, not the least of which are minors and women. And in the last couple of weeks, we've definitely had stories of minors trafficked and assaulted and even killed, and women, specifically now Lake
and Riley.
Though Joe Biden referred to her as Lincoln Riley last night on the
Lincoln.
Yeah, he said her name wrong. He said her name wrong in the State of the Union address. So Lincoln Riley. So she's become Lincoln Riley has
it wrong. He was reading the whole damn thing.
Yeah, well,
he's probably got they've got those clear teleprompters that are right. There's one right here.
Oh, for sure.
Ears.
Yeah.
They can look right through them, but the words come up.
For sure that he was reading his speech, for sure. Absolutely.
They all do.
Yeah, they all do. Everybody does. I mean, everybody does.
Work in this. You should you should see my Google Drive. I've got 50 untitled documents because I have to look through all that. It's because I'm constantly reading crap.
So he was kind of forced to mention Lincoln Riley, but Lincoln Riley is dead because of our border.
His policy.
Because of our border and his policy. and she's not the only one.
She's
There
not
was a
the only
man.
one. You're right.
No, not by a long shot. No, not by a long shot. And there will be more. Even after we finally close the border and say put a moratorium on immigration for a window to try to clean this problem up. There's so many people here. This crime will continue to happen for a long time.
So,
even if we can even close the border.
So let me point out something that I just realized while you're saying this, and I wonder if this was a chess move that was thought about way in advance, and if so, you've got to admit that the people in charge are really, really freaking smart. What if all of this it's not like happenstance and it was planned? And how many years now, how many decades now have they been pushing this? We've got a couple of generations. How can I word this? We've got a couple of generations now, 2 or 3 generations that they have pushed this. You are evil if you judge someone, if you classify someone in your own mind by a certain group of the color of their skin or whatnot. You know, we went through this whole, I'm trying to think of the word. And I can't think of the damn word now that they used to use.
Segregation?
No. This was in the 90s and the 2000s, and I can't think.
Profiling.
Profiling. That's it. Profiling. So,
yeah.
See that they made us. They made us think that was a bad thing.
Sure.
You know, and it started with and now we all think when we inner profile in our inner brain. If you're walking through Walmart and you see a group of people that are a different race than you all hanging out, you automatically profile them based on your experience and your environment and your history. You know, every human does. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, yellow, it doesn't matter. If a black guy comes across a group of a bunch of white guys standing there, he's automatically judging, going through stuff.
Yeah.
And we have been taught that this is a wrong thing to do. And it's wrong. We should not do this. That's but it's a human reaction that we all experience. So what if that was set up to make us automatically be like, well, profiling is wrong. And now we've got these millions of immigrants that have come into our area. And now if I walk into Walmart and I see a bunch of immigrants, hell yes, I'm profiling you in my head. I'm watching around you. I'm watching your movements, and I'm definitely watching my daughters.
You're right.
So what if this was a move to make a majority of the Americans scared to even say anything now that there's an influx of people that are not,
Okay, so I have some thoughts on this, and yeah, no, well, I mean, I think what you have here is things like that start with the projection of the Western American liberal attitude that people want to be free and people want to follow the rules and people want to be law abiding and things like that. It starts with that. And then from that, we should treat everybody fairly and we should treat everybody equally. These are American kind of like deep core values that we project externally to people around the world that do not share these values. So that's the first thing. And then based on that kind of core value, you have things like, well, it's not right to profile people based on whatever criteria you are. And then these advocates will look at things like data and be like, look, see, like say, for instance, black people are prosecuted way higher than other people. That's not fair. That's racist. Well, if you look further into the data, you would see that like black on black crime is the highest rate of crime. Black people attacking black people.
They took the robot out of New York because it was too many black people was attacking.
Yeah, the fact is that most crime among any racial demographic occurs within that racial demographic. White people attack white people. Black people attack black people.
Take care of her. I know it's exactly what you're saying.
She just wanted the remote. She's watching a cartoon.
I know exactly what you're saying.
But the thing that comes up in the news is like white on black crime, but white on black crime is, or white on black, say violent homicide, something like that. This is like the smallest cohort of crime crossing over between a demographic. It's the smallest percentage. In fact, it's much smaller than black on white crime. So, okay, so why am I saying all that? Here's why I'm saying all that. This kind of thing of like profiling is bad. It started with the projection of a good liberal attitude, but it's a projection that's not necessarily warranted, backed up by data that isn't thoroughly vetted or examined and unfairly represented. And then, but it goes against a human nature. And the human nature is this. The human nature is this. As you move through the world, humans, you will constantly, unless you're mentally defective, you will constantly evaluate your surroundings for potential threats and dangers. Potential threats and dangers. That means not necessarily looking at someone's skin, although I guess somebody's skin color, depending on your environment, that maybe that matters. What you look for are body language red flags. You look at people with tunnel vision that are like staring at somebody. You look at somebody moving aggressively. You look at glower. That's why things like smiling can disarm that.
Yeah. And I like to watch how people put their weight. A lot of people don't notice that, but how people shift their weight and what if they stand on one leg or if they stand on both. And if
you're
see,
like ready to move.
Yes. If you see someone that is like, I always told Alex this, I was like, look, dude, if you get into a fight at school, don't be the first one to throw the punch, but if the punch is thrown at you, you can finish it. But I told him this, I said, if you start to fight a kid and he bends his knees and lowers his center of gravity a little bit, do not fight that kid. He's going to whoop your ass because that kid knows how to fight. That kid knows how to fight.
So like what we call profiling is like it's like
if I walked into a motorcycle bar with a bunch of white guys, I would feel the exact same threat because I'm not a motorcycle person. I don't hang out with that. It's a different environment.
If a black guy's driving through a white neighborhood, should the police profile him because he's black and like, this is a suspect? No, not necessarily. In fact, no. But if he's driving a car past the house multiple times, or if he's backed into a parking spot at a store where it kind of looks like the people inside might be like getting ready to like jump out and jump in and go, I don't know, but not based on skin color. No, you have to base your judgments about people based on a whole bunch of criteria, and most importantly, the danger or threat that they pose in your environment. So I don't know how we ended up on profiling. What were we talking? Where did this start from?
I brought up something. It was one of my damn rabbits that I was chasing down the main road.
Oh well. Hey, sometimes people fight. It's not just Donald Trump and Joe Biden that are trying to get ready to fight in the election. Sometimes you have people, black people, white people, they just fight. And sometimes it's amazing and you definitely want to watch it. For instance, yesterday, Mike Tyson announced that the contract is signed. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. This is going to be amazing. 27-year-old up-and-comer YouTuber turned professional boxer Jake Paul, 27 years old, signed a contract to fight Mike Tyson on Netflix. Tyson, 57-year-old Mike Tyson.
Okay, let me give you my point of view first before you do anything, because this is the first thing. I didn't know this was happening. I've heard that they were bickering with each other, but I didn't know that this was happening. And all the puzzle pieces, you've just put the last puzzle piece of my questions. You've painted the picture for me, and I'm going to describe the picture.
All right.
We were talking about Mike Tyson the other day, and I was mentioning, during his pay-per-views, it was a big thing. It was a big, huge month-long build-up for 30 seconds normally. Mike Tyson would knock a guy out in the first round, 3 minutes. He would knock him out in 3 minutes. And we used to say, and they would say, whoever he knocked out at the time in the 80s, 90s, it was the 80s, I guess. And they would say he made a $5 million payday for getting knocked out by Mike Tyson. And I always posed the question to my buddies, would you get in the ring with Mike Tyson for 3 minutes for $5 million?
You won't last 3 minutes, but okay.
You won't. I wouldn't last 5 seconds. One punch.
Yeah.
One punch, and I would be out
mean,
from Mike Tyson. Period.
Well, he knows what he's doing. Even if you know what you're doing, he knows what he's doing.
So, Jake, how much of exposure to this social media guy and how much money is he going to make from this and from the ensuing exposure from this? This is a good move from him for him.
Oh, for Jake?
Yeah, he's gonna get his ass.
He don't gotta win. He doesn't.
No,
I don't know. He's won a lot. He's won a lot of fights, but I haven't watched any of them.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. There's a 30-year difference, dude. Mike Tyson's 57.
I don't.
He might just be young enough and tough enough to suck it up for.
I don't know. Mike Tyson.
I mean, I don't know how many rounds he goes.
Dude.
Yeah, I think so I was listening to somebody comment on this, and they said that Mike Tyson always ended those fights fast because he would get to where he can't breathe. So like maybe his cardio isn't that great or something like that. I'm not sure. So
Mike Tyson always ended his fights fast because he punches like a Mack truck hitting you at about 30 miles an hour.
And he's an incredible technical boxer. He knows how to find the angles and get in and deliver damage.
Have you ever been hit really hard by someone really strong?
Once.
No, a serious question.
Knocked the wind right out of me.
I've been hit in the face by somebody that was weak and it didn't hurt, but
yeah,
I got hit in the arm one time by a buddy of mine in high school. Get this off the screen. I want to look at this.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I want to tell you this.
You want to tell a story?
This is a cool story. I got a buddy that I went to kindergarten with. His name's Billy Robertson. And Billy had some sort of muscular dystrophy in his legs. And he kind of hobbled.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he would always fall forward. And he would catch himself and push himself back up with his arms.
Right.
I went to school with him since kindergarten. He drives a truck now. He lives in Tennessee. We still talk to each other. I've known him my entire life. He was one of my friends I hung out with all the time.
Okay.
Billy,
okay.
He was my buddy Billy, and he always fell, and he would because he couldn't walk. He could hobble.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. You know what I'm talking about. I've watched him for 20 years fall and push himself back up with his arms. And when we were in high school one time, I was like, Billy, hit, we was talking about how strong he was. I was like, hit me, hit me with all. Holy shit, dude. I still to this day will be like Billy Robertson. He is the strongest guy I've ever met. He hit like like it was a concrete piece of rock. Just
yeah. Yeah.
And I said it's because he's done push-ups his entire life.
Yeah, probably, almost certainly. Yes. Okay, well, the match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson is going to be held July 20th at the AT&T Stadium, the 80,000 seat venue in Arlington, Texas. It's the home of the Dallas Cowboys. So Tyson, who will be 58 at the time, said he is very much looking forward to the fight. And of course, Paul is 27. He is billing it as the biggest fight of the 21st century, and he may not be wrong. Now, not because of Jake Paul. It's because Mike Tyson, 58, is still getting back in the ring with a man 30 years younger than him. Jake Paul is approaching his prime. He's not even in his prime. He's approaching his prime, and he's
Did you watch boxing? Did you ever? I was into boxing for a while.
I used to watch boxing. Yeah. Now I
really
watch UFC like every month.
No, I really still enjoy boxing over UFC. I just I like the sport, but I just do.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yes. It was a long time ago that I watched straight
when
boxing.
I stopped watching UFC. I watched Anderson Silva's fight with his leg, and I was like, "Nope, I'm done."
Yeah. No, I've seen some guys break their own legs. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I don't want to see that anymore.
That is the stuff that I don't watch. I don't watch for that. I watch for a lot of other things. But when I see that, I'm like, I need to delete that from my brain. All right, let's talk about some fun stuff, maybe.
There was one story I wanted to bring up. Did you see the story that Brian posted for us? That this was kind of fun, but I can't get Fox to bring it up right. So
Let me
anyway,
see.
I'm
Let me
gonna
put
read
it-
it to you.
Yeah.
Sesame Street's Cookie Monster
Yes.
is recently in the news.
Yeah.
Cookie Monster went viral Monday for complaining about shrinkflation impacting the size of cookies. He says, "Me hate shrinkflation. Me cookies get smaller." Cookie wrote on with a sad face. An error. Casey, who is up for. See, this is what an error occurred while retrieving the tweet.
Yeah.
Casey, who is up for re-election in November, appeared on Cookie Monster's replies, telling the hungry TV puppet, "I'm on it. I need your help to hold big corporations accountable for using shrinkflation to take in record profits. Can you chip in $3 to help fight back?" That's how that's supposed to be read, by the way.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So Cookie Monster and the people that I guess Cookie Monster does his own Twitter X account. He's like, "Cookie Monster, not a place to solicit for idiots. Me hide tweet." So Cookie
is
Monster.
that what he said for real?
No, I'm just making it up.
Okay.
But that's what
he hit
that's
it.
what the team did. The team's like, "We're not using this. This is not a If he was a Democrat, if he was a Republican, if he was an independent, anybody asking for money on a Cookie Monster tweet, they would have hit it.
Yeah, for real. And that's exactly what it was. It was
exactly what
Democrat Bob Casey using Cookie Monster to try to fundraise off of children. You piece of absolute filth. All right. Yeah. Great job, Bob.
Yep, there you go.
All right. Let's see. Hey, we talked about border stuff a little bit earlier. Check this out. In Florida, a sheriff gave a press conference. 21 suspected illegal migrants were arrested among 228 arrested in a human trafficking sting. Shocking. Oh, so many people. When a sheriff's department broke down a human trafficking ring, they found 21 illegal immigrants. Polk County Sheriff Office said Tuesday that the undercover operation began in February 22nd, and more than 200 individuals nabbed were involved in illegal activity connected to night work, offers to commit night work, and aiding or abetting night workers in the area.
we should have a whole show. Like every Thursday, me and you have to read and do the whole show as if a 4-year-old is in the room with us, so that we have to force
gotta edit on the fly here.
That's so awesome.
All right. Let's see. Check this out. You remember John Fetterman? Old potato brain. Old had a stroke while, and look, I'm hope he's recovering. I'm happy he's recovering. If people of Pennsylvania definitely need a senator that is not mentally compromised. John Fetterman blames TikTok. blames libs of TikTok and office staff for stripping $1 million from a Philly LGBTQ center that hosts kink parties. Ew. Oh, yeah, right. I'm like, why, John Fetterman, why are you endorsing kink parties? So libs of TikTok over on Twitter wrote this: breaking. The Senate Appropriations Committee released a spending bill, which is being voted on tomorrow. It includes $1 million of taxpayer funds to go towards renovating an LGBTQ center in Pennsylvania that boasts rooms to try BDSM and some fetishes and some other gross stuff. A closer look reveals that the friendliest and longest running, man, I can't.
Yeah, we get the gist. You don't have to continue.
Yeah. So let's see. If I go over here to let me jump to this tweet because this is actually super funny. It's super funny. Where is it? Is it here? God. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the.
Oh, you're good.
Okay,
dude.
here we go. Here is the actual Twitter thread. Here we go. So this is Libs of TikTok posted this update. So this is just after this story is posted. John Fetterman has withdrawn his support for funding this LGBTQ center that hosts these kink parties. And okay, so he's withdrawn his support. Another update, Fetterman now says he does support the LGBTQ center. So Fetterman flip-flops. The Senate voted last night unanimously to remove the earmark for funding. Removing a huge earmark 24 hours before a vote is unprecedented. That's enormous. Senator Bob Casey withdraws his support. You saw it. That's the Cookie Monster guy we saw just a minute ago. He now withdraws his support for using taxpayer dollars to fund this kind of stuff. And now John Fetterman is losing his mind because he got exposed for wanting to fund it. So Libs of TikTok continues to just produce awesome stuff on Twitter, our X platform. If you're not following the Libs of TikTok, you're missing out on a big account over there. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Old potato brain. Let's see. We got I saw this also. Oh boy. Do you know that certain medical people in the whatever that do the trans health, they advocate for certain things like hormone blockers or even, worse, medical surgery, things like that. This is all under the World Professional Association for Transgender Health. All of that kind of stuff like those kind of like surgeries, that kind of hormone prescription, that kind of stuff, all comes under the advice of this group called WPATH. Well, in some of this is Michael Schellenberger, independent journalist on Twitter and Substack and stuff. According to WPATH's internal files, there are written discussions, and video reveals that its members know that they are creating victims and not getting informed consent. So there are some screenshots here, but for instance, here's I guess it's an email or an internal discussion. Hello, colleagues. I would like to know how to proceed on a 14-year-old trans female who started transition since she was 4. She wants to have gender affirming surgery, and 4. And now it's 14. So she's been brainwashed for 10 years. And her parents are supporting her decision, but I have never done this on such a young patient. What are your recommendations in this case? This is the WPATH medicine. So, and this stuff goes on and on. So Michael Schellenberger kind of dropped this out. One of the discussions in here includes, get this, if a trans patient has dissociative identity disorder, the WPATH people, they want to get informed consent from each of the identities before treatment. Yeah. How do you get informed consent from schizophrenic identities? Right. So this isn't actually medicine. This is voodoo, a religious cult stuff. So you guys should go check this out. Yeah, Michael Schellenberger. All the links to all of our stories, they're always posted in our Discord server. We have the stories that we use every single day are posted in there. So if you haven't already, go check that out. You can get to that server by clicking on the link in the description below, right after you like and subscribe.
Or over there above JJ's head.
Yeah, you can do that. But I mean, like if you're watching on your phone, you have to get another phone to scan that phone. So you could just click the link below. All right. Biden administration told the court that the government cannot require employers to pay for trans surgery. So there's also that story. I don't really want to talk about that. Okay. Can we talk about some fun stuff now? Do you have some AI stuff?
No.
Or did we do AI stuff yesterday?
We did the AI stuff yesterday. I've got a couple of crazy.
I got an entertainment story, a real entertainment story. I got 2.
Okay. All right.
Have you seen?
Talk in 20 seconds. So.
Oh, okay.
I just got to talk real quick in 20 seconds.
All right. So, for those of you guys that are not aware, Deacon put this trailer in. They put a sneak trailer in the server the other day, a couple days ago, and it was, I think we played it on the show. It was a teaser trailer for the Fallout TV show, which will be launching on Amazon Prime on April 11th. Fallout TV show, a sneak trailer or a sneak preview trailer. We got what's going on over here. Miss Dangered, hey. Fetterman, the gift that keeps on giving. Yes. He's great. Okay. So Fallout is coming to Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime bought MGM Studios like, I don't know, a year or two ago or something like that. So this is one of two things that Amazon. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Have you seen the trailer?
No, you posted it yesterday. You tagged me, and I was like, ooh, but I didn't ever watch it.
Yeah, let's check it out. Because I'm kind of excited about this. Because I mean, I love Fallout. Who doesn't love Fallout? But like this
Fallout.
Even if I didn't love Fallout, this trailer starts with Walter Goggins, and I would. Look, I'm not going to say I would be gay for Walter Goggins, but I really love Walter Goggins. Let's watch it.
Hello there.
Oh,
I'm here to show you.
Volume up. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place.
Look at
A
this.
veritable Camelot of the nuclear age. Not made by God Almighty, but the working man. You can be a hero by purchasing a residence in a Vault-Tec vault today. Because if the worst should happen tomorrow, the world is going to need you to build a better day after.
This is so great. First of all, it looks amazing. That is awesome.
The mission of the vault should be important to everyone. To come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
Holy shit. You're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
I thought all you dipshits were dead. What you're doing is insane.
I don't accept the world.
Ink spots are gonna
out there. It's
copyright strike us.
I just want to start.
Look at that.
I've had a rough week. Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
You need to go home.
Oh my God, the guy from
You
Lost.
come from a world of rules, of laws. You should not be alone.
Oh wow.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
To hurt the people who hurt me?
People are going to come after you.
Ain't much stays clean up here, Volty. Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs.
Huh. So, Walter Goggins.
You look out at this wasteland, looks like chaos, but there's always somebody behind the wheel.
The dude punched a bear.
What is happening here?
Everyone wants to save the world. They disagree on how.
There you are, you little killer.
Oh yes, I am so in. I am so in. Okay. So, I knew that Walter Goggins was playing one of the zombie guys, which I think they're called. What are they called? They're not called underdwellers. What are they called? But they're irradiated zombie guys. I knew. I knew he was playing one of those. But did you have any idea that he would be the spokesman for Vault Tech at the start of the crisis? And then he's still alive 200 years later. So he got irradiated or something in the end of the world, and it made him immortal, but a zombie. And now he's walking the earth.
So
oh my God.
His Southern dialect in that, because I have a Southern dialect, and I'm a language person, and that's what I do for a living. And I nitpick every freaking person when they try to put on a Southern accent, because it sounds like, yes, it sounds like a fake one. This sounds like fake Southern accent. His accent in that was great, man. I mean, his drawl,
he did Justified for like 7 years.
Sounded like a real Southern, because of the way that he says, because we don't say words like the, we say the, and we say duh. We'll put D in the space of TH sometimes when we're talking. It's the Southern people in our Southern drawl. And I was noticing that in his, I'm just nitpicking crap that
he was raised in Lithia Springs, Georgia. So he was raised in Georgia.
So he's got that. He's got people. That's why he's got an official Southern.
Now, look, he's been an actor for like decades. So he's done all kinds of voices. So even if the accent is authentic, it's still a put on. And so it's excellent because he knows how to not speak like that as well. So, oh my God, I'm so in for it. Thank God we have something new coming that we can look forward to that hasn't been ruined yet. This is by Amazon, and they did Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings. So this could still be destroyed, but hopefully not. Hopefully this will be
Lord of the Rings.
I know you do. But check. Okay, so that's one entertainment story, but I got another one. Did you ever watch a movie called The Accountant? The Accountant. It was a Ben Affleck movie. How do you feel about Ben Affleck?
I'm okay with Ben.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm okay with Ben. I like Ben because I like Kevin Smith, and Ben Affleck was one of Kevin Smith's buddies from the start. Kevin Smith basically got Ben Affleck who Ben Affleck is. Gave him you're still muted. Gave him his you're still muted. You're still muted.
Sorry, my kid was like, "Can I turn the volume up?" And I'm like, "No."
He's okay. I'm listening to her.
Yeah. Okay. So Ben Affleck, yes, he got started with what? Chasing Amy, or no? He was in. He was in Mallrats first. Yeah. I don't know. I don't
know if that was his first movie, but that was his first little soiree with Kevin Smith. He was the he was the uppity guy that was Shannon Doherty
in the back of the Volkswagen.
Yeah, that Jason Leese.
You mean in the trunk? No, not in the trunk. In the back, in the Volkswagen.
My favorite part of that movie is they keep walking by Ethan Suplee, and he's standing there and he can't see that damn.
Yeah.
I could never see those bitches either.
Oh, really?
No. My eyes focus really weird, and I could never see them.
You just have to look at it, and then you have to push your eyes through it. You have to change. Okay, change your.
Yeah, okay. I know.
Anyway, Ben Affleck put out a movie in 2016 called The Accountant.
Okay,
let me pitch The Accountant to you. What if an accountant was actually a hitman, but the accountant that was hitman was actually an autistic Batman, because that's what The Accountant is. It is an amazing movie where he is he's digging into this company's financial crime or financial, I don't know. He's going through this company's financial records, like a forensic audit. And there's some bad guys, and his, I guess, being a forensic accountant is his front. It's his Bruce Wayne for what he actually does, which is he's a contract killer. So
that sounds interesting.
It is it's an amazing movie. It's so good. Well, Warner Brothers owns the Accountant and the franchise, but Ben Affleck has struck a deal with Warner Brothers to get MGM Studios from Amazon to make and distribute the sequel to The Accountant. And I guess Warner Brothers gets some cash out of it. Ben Affleck-led sequel to his 2016 crime film, The Accountant, has a new home as it gears up for production later this month. The follow-up thriller has moved to Amazon MGM Studios after it was previously in development for many years at Warner Brothers. It's let's see, the move from studio to streamer took place over the course of last summer during the actors and writers strike. According to the sources, the sequel was a priority during the heady days of HBO Max era, and when the studio was developing big name feature projects intended for a newly launched and very shiny streaming service. However, after the Zaslav era began in 2022, they started cutting. And, look, streaming services, they don't make so much money. So this is a good deal for Warner Brothers, great deal for Ben Affleck, and a great deal for me because I love The Accountant. So I'd love to see him return as the forensic accountant. Okay, so you got to check that movie out, Deke, The Accountant.
Yeah, I definitely will. That sounds very interesting. That sounds like something I'd like.
Yeah, it's straight up. He's like an autistic Batman. It's crazy. All right. That is all the news stories that I've got, Deke. You got some song for us today, sir?
Oh, yes. We're doing this is the last day over here. Go to the Discord server above JJ's head. Go down to Deke's playlist. It's got some music notes. And this week we are doing weird ass 90s songs. So our last weird ass 90s song today was a last minute pick because we started the show and I was like, oh my God, I forgot to get a song because my morning's been crazy. But this one's a weird ass one, but not as weird as some of the other ones that we've played this week. But the song today is by the Violent Femmes. JJ knows the Violent Femmes. Oh, you know Kiss Off? Do you know Kiss Off?
I know the Violent Femmes. I'm gonna have to listen to Kiss Off to get because I don't know the names. Let me listen.
You'll know it if you know the Violent Femmes. You'll know Kiss Off. Most people know the Violent Femmes from one song, "Blister in the Sun." Let me go.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
Great song. Played it a million times when I was a mobile DJ. But Kiss Off is one of those Violent Femmes songs that I would. It's just it made me feel great. I love it.
Hold on, let me hear a couple bars of it.
If you want to hear some weird ass 90s songs, go back through yesterday's song by King Missile, Whale,
yes,
Geggy Taw. You remember that one? Yeah. Violent Femmes was such a great band, man. Such a great band. And if you've never heard the Violent Femmes or listened to their stuff, just listen to it, man. It's really good.
We had such amazing music in the 90s.
We did, man.
You kids' music sucks.
What's weird is the kids now, that's classic rock to them. And my son has said a million times, he's like, man, you lived in the best era. Y'all had such the greatest music in the 90s, man. And I'm like, man, we did have some great songs in the 90s. And we had some of the greatest songs.
Do you know? I'm sorry. I'm just taken aback by this. You have any idea how many times I played this cassette tape? Cassette tape. It was music on a magnetic piece of tape.
And I've tried to explain that to like my production directors or my program directors before and whatnot when I was talking about, dude, with records and tapes, you couldn't just skip to track 6. You could with the record, but you risk damaging your record. You put the needle on, you press play on the tape, you let it play all the way through, you flip the side, you let it play all the way through. Yes, you heard the 1 or 2 songs from that album that the record companies were trying to push, but there were so many songs that we call album cuts, and they've even called some deep album cuts of songs that you've never heard a million times because they were never played on the radio. I always use one album as a prime example of what I'm talking about. Cracked Rear View by Hootie and the Blowfish. Their very first album that came out was freaking nominal. It had like 5 number 1 hits on it. Every Hootie and the Blowfish song that you can think of and name came from that album. All right. The best song on the entire album is the last song. It's called Goodbye. It was never on the radio. It's the best song on the album. The album had like 5. It's full of, but you only knew what the record company told you to listen to. You only listened to what the record executive told you to listen to.
I still do exclusively what I'm told to. Exclusively what I'm told to on the internet right now. For instance, if you said, JJ, go like this video, I would go over to YouTube right now or rumble.com/JJW and I would put a little thumbs up on it. I would do that.
My Lord.
All right, guys.
Your,
hey, we are obligated to tell a joke at the end of the show every single day. Oh, you know what? Hey, Jill, do you got a joke for me? You gonna tell a joke? No, she can't. She can't tell a joke right now.
Will she tell it to me? Ask her. She'll tell him.
No, she's watching a cartoon. She's not gonna do anything. She wouldn't lift her finger to save my life right now.
That is exactly right. Yes, that's about normal.
All right. So we at the end of every show, guys, you stayed throughout the show. Thank you so much. You earned yourself a hilarious joke. Here's one for you, Deacon. Why do zebras have stripes?
I don't know.
So they don't get spotted.
No, that's pretty good. No, you should get a couple of cheers for that one. Okay, JJ, what do you get when you cross a shark with a cow?
Shark with a cow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Your research funding permanently suspended.
That is really good. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Here's the outro.
Talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teats. Tune in now to your Two Dads show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today.
Bingo. I got a bingo. Come check my card.